Welcome all to episode number 27 of the Unfinished Basement podcast. Today we are joined uh, with one another, Jules and myself. Joe unfortunately couldn't make it today. He's not feeling too well, but we decided to go on regardless just because we've been trying to put out content for a few days now and we feel it's important to try to keep up, especially considering the time we have on our hands right now. So we'll get into it, yeah?
Yeah, and just to like go back on that for a quick second, like we marked our last episode as the big return, and the previous one before that was also supposed to be the first big return. That was our first attempt, and we all know how that went. So trying to maintain some consistency and get her going, you know?
Definitely, we don't want to pull the H3 shit that we hate so much. Where
Yeah.
every time that he posts one video, it's like for the past few years now, it's always been about him and Hila or Ela rather getting back into the groove of things, and they never end. Basically, it's just a pretty shit video that they put out, and they never end up actually moving on from there. I guess they got their podcast, but even still, we don't want to be like that.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, now that we've had some time to like play Valorant a lot and like stew on it. Like what's your take on it? Like how do you think they're going about this beta and shit? Like what's going on?
Man,
What's the situation?
I think they've done a great job with it. I'm hearing the number one complaint really that I'm hearing about it is hitboxes. And well, no. Hitboxes, moving and shooting, and spray
Yeah.
patterns not being identical every single time the way that they are in Counter-Strike. I
Yeah.
think that the spray pattern thing, I don't think they'll ever fix that because it's by design. Um, I mean, if they wanted it to be identical every single time, they just would have made the game like that. So that's
Yeah.
definitely by design. So I don't really have a I would prefer that they're the exact same every time, but at the same like if that's the way they want the game, that's the way they want the game. Nothing to be done. Moving and shooting, definitely a problem that they need to address, but it could also be by design. We don't really know yet. Um, Hitboxes, I think that I haven't had any problems with hitboxes. If I whiff, I whiff. But what are you gonna do?
Same.
Um, I think their marketing has been pretty fucking crazy with this gimmick with the drops.
Yeah.
Uh, Really, they clearly didn't give a fuck about it being a closed beta because everyone has it, right? Like it's not that
And
they were
more people
trying
are
to make it
getting it every day.
exclusive. Exactly. So the exclusivity of it is not it's not typical of a closed beta, and it was definitely a gimmick to get people attached to it or to see the steam that it's picking up. I think they've done a great job with that, and the game itself, man, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I I stopped playing CS years ago and I loved Counter Strike, so this is definitely a brand new thing to play with like abilities and stuff. They added a lot of cool features. They have some work to do, sure, but I think they've done a good job with it so far.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said. Um like the marketing especially like it was it was a clever way for them to like basically release the full game without taking shit for um like having problems with it, you know?
Hmm.
And like and to like build hype for it too. Like how many games like come out that have been hyped like crazy just
Yeah,
for them to be giant disappointments and whatnot. So
for
that
sure.
was good. But I have one thing I have to say about this game, and it involves the anti-cheat
Yeah.
because this almost makes me want to not play it again. It makes me want to really uninstall it. Okay, so on my computer I have an MSI motherboard and I use Dragon Center to control um like some shit with my CPU and my case fans, the case
Okay.
fan speeds,
Yeah.
and also the RGB lighting of the case and my motherboard and shit. Like if I want to change the colors, I have to go into this Dragon Center app. Valorant's anti-cheat prohibits me from opening this app entirely.
Oh wow.
Just because and like an error prompt comes up saying that Valorant anti-cheat will not allow this because it can potentially compromise your credibility or whatever on our
Right.
servers. And that is that's really fucked up, man. Like,
Hmm.
why is it doing that? And like a lot of people online are saying that it's like slowing down their computers. It has access to pretty much all their information and shit like that. And yeah, I just like I'm all for anti-cheat, but that's really intrusive, man. Like like if I overclocked my computer really heavily, Dragon Center would be the app where I basically control a lot of those processes.
Hmm.
And just for one fucking game that isn't even fully released yet, that I've put money into for skins and whatnot, like that's basically inhibiting the potential of my computer. And like,
Hmm.
what could one app like one app that's released by like a credible fucking manufacturer to basically run the operations of a computer, like what's that have to do with cheating? Like
Right.
how is that gonna let me hack? You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. You're absolutely right about that. I've read a lot about well, I don't mean that I've read up on it a lot. I mean I've seen a lot of stuff about it online about the Vanguard anti-cheat, and a lot of people are having that exact issue that you've explained, where it's not allowing you to use certain software that has absolutely zero to do with the game, has absolutely nothing to do with your capacity to use cheats in the game. Yet the apps are still being blocked. What I heard actually is that this this Riot Vanguard, the anti-cheat, has I watched a video on it. I don't remember exactly how the person who made the video said it, but apparently it has overriding capacity that not even you as the administrator, like logged in as administrator,
Yeah,
have
can't get
over
rid
the
of.
computer. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it basically has complete and total control of the computer, which includes information, which is a big problem in 2020. Um, Aside from that, people are just having general problems with it. Like the anti-cheat is prohibiting them from even launching the game,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird. Um, yeah, a lot of people are having problems with it, but the way I see it is that they have to work out those kinks, especially for something like you said it was called Dragon Force.
Yeah, yeah, Dragon Center.
Dragon, yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
See, so something like that, they have to. It'll be just like when you have your antivirus software. Allow X program, allow Y program. Riot basically just has to implement that into their anti cheat, so that it's on a more wide scale. I think, and that'll correct that problem.
You can basically go into like your control panel or something and just disable it. But that prevents you from launching the game entirely. So
Hmm.
you have to turn it back on if you want to play the game again.
Right.
Um, and that itself might be a risk, like if you want to play the game again, because how many people have we played with personally that like have had so much issues trying to get the game going and had to fucking reinstall it
Hmm.
X amount of times just to fix the anti cheat.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's really annoying. And yeah, like I don't know what to do about this program having basically complete control over my computer. Like, is there a way to get rid of it? Do you know? Like even after uninstalling it, I imagine it still stays. Like some things still stay.
Yeah, you can only imagine for sure. You know what? The one thing that I would say on that, it's likely that parts of it stay. You can't ever get rid of anything fully on a computer, but there are now laws in California that that basically any user of any platform, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, they get to choose whether or not companies can collect their data. They can disable or enable that feature. They can also have all information that any of these major companies have on them. They can request for it to all be deleted, right? Now, Riot is based out of LA, California. So I imagine, or at least would hope, that a lot of their development it utilizes the law that's in California, just because that's the state that they're scripting out of, right? So hopefully, anything that you or if you were to delete it, it would basically just get rid of anything that tracks you or has that power over your computer, just because where they're making the game states that you have to have that feature, right?
Yeah.
But then again, it's an international company, so I'm sure they have different small different tweaks based on where the game's being released, right?
Right. Right. Yeah, like it could be entirely different in Korea or something like
Exactly.
that, you know.
Most definitely. Hell, they probably have different developing teams on it, considering how big the well, not developing for the basic play of the game, but for release and server function and stuff, it's definitely different.
Fucking on the internet, like fucking damn it.
That's all right, man.
Whatever.
We get that
So annoying. So
we
annoying.
get that once every couple episodes. It's no big deal. Skeet, by the way, says and it not being on Mac. So yeah, that's definitely a problem for a large user base. I'd imagine, considering the fact that Counter Strike is available on Mac, I believe. Yeah, it
Mm.
is, and so is League. So any Riot players that are coming over, they might expect it to be available on Mac OS, and any Counter Strike players who play on Mac, which I doubt there are very many, but if there are, they might also expect Valorant to be playable on Mac. So that's problematic in itself. But I think that once the beta's done, or at least in the relatively near future,
Yeah, they'll port it.
for
It's
sure.
just definitely not on their list of priorities right now. Like League is on Mac too, so
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah, it'll come eventually.
Hmm. For
But
sure.
yeah, it's a fun game, but that just pisses me off, man. It's because like I literally just built this computer, and I don't want any fucking problems to happen with it.
Well,
You know?
you can disable the anti-cheat being launched on startup. If you go into your task manager and click on the little
Oh, let me
startup,
do that.
yeah, I did that a couple days ago. I always try to check every like maybe 2 weeks, I'd guess. I check into my little startup thing just to make sure like any new software that I installed. I just want to make sure it's not being launched on startup. Like I even took Steam off my launch because fuck it. Like if I want to launch Steam, I'll launch Steam myself. The only thing I have really
Yeah.
is Discord and my Windows Defender, I think.
Oh, and Spot. Wow, all this shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what RTK odd services?
Is it odd like
Audio
AUD?
service? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Realtek. It's
Oh, Realtek. Yeah,
I'd imagine I'd leave it
that's
open
audio,
just because I
right?
think it's your
Yeah.
drivers for audio. Yeah, I leave
Excellent.
that one enabled.
Discord. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit there. Like so many or so much software just embeds or like by default launches on startup, which is bullshit. It makes sense that companies would do that, but I don't want that. And it brings up the
Andy?
speed of launch. Sorry?
Dude, I have never even searched Candy Crush on my computer,
Yep. It
and
comes
it's on
installed
my
with
computer.
Windows 10 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, no, no. It
That
wasn't
kind of
last year.
worried me for a second.
No. What you can do, dude, is if you haven't done it already, if you just type in your little search bar uninstall,
Mm.
and it says something called add or remove programs will pop up. I try to get rid of anything that was installed with Windows that you can get rid of. Some of it you can't. It's actually bullshit. Like
Yeah.
Windows, like Skype, dude. On my old computer, the problems that I had uninstalling Skype, it came with the computer because Windows owns Skype now or Microsoft. The problems I had uninstalling it took me like fucking 8 tries, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah. I remember that
Yeah.
when I used Skype. That's why like I'm glad that Discord has eclipsed it for us.
Mhm. Mhm.
Cuz even like quality wise, like Discord is better than Skype ever was, I
Oh, for
think.
sure. Even just its speed, dude. Skype there was a big
Yeah.
delay. Discord it's
Yeah.
far less. I think that the only one superior for actual like voice chat or yeah VoIP I think they call it is probably TeamSpeak. But
Mhm.
but Discord has so many more features, man. We have our servers, we have the Groovy bot, we have
The
it looks
Groovy bot
nice.
is the Groovy bot is what makes it,
Yeah.
man. Like where else can you do this, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Now that they added video chat in server because of COVID, that's pretty cool. Especially considering we never even thought to use video chat before all this started,
Yeah.
right?
And now this is the only way that we have to hang out basically.
Hmm. Yeah, basically. And we've been utilizing it, watching
Hmm.
movies and stuff with the guys, getting some oh, there he is. Let me unmute him. I might have him muted. Oh, dude, you bastard. That's such a trip.
Dude, I hate it. I
Yeah,
hate it.
it's
It's so
freaky.
real. It fucking makes my spine all
Yeah.
twitchy. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but yes, we have been watching movies.
Let me just real quick before we continue, let me just drag the
The groovy
actually
butt did it ruin it?
no. Actually, no, fuck it. It doesn't even matter. He'll go away himself in 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
it didn't do anything really to the Skype. Like it, if it was more people, it would have made it smaller, but it didn't.
Hmm. Yeah, no,
Um,
yeah, I'm seeing it right now.
yeah. Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, movies.
Was that one we watched, the Guy Ritchie one? What was
Yeah,
it called?
Lock,
It
Stock, and
had
Two
a long
Smoking
name.
Barrels.
Man, that was I was surprised how much I enjoyed that. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Like so low. I love low budget movies, and that was like low budget, man.
yeah. It
Like, you
was.
know what I mean?
It was.
But they made the best of what they got, and the dialogue was fucking amazing.
Yep. No, it was funny, man. It was great,
Yeah.
and it was the movie was weird because it was definitely like it had to have been a comedy. Like I
Hmm.
imagine that it was considered a comedy, yet it was also like an action movie mixed with like a little bit of drama. It was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And that like dry British humor,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
was mostly a part of it.
Mhm.
But yeah, man. Last night we watched Alien
Mhm.
together over Discord with the Skeet,
Yep.
and before that, the night before, I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't know if you watched it the same day or the night before.
It might have been the. I think I watched it the night after that you mentioned it to me.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
all right. So if we're gonna dive into that, there's definitely a lot of comparisons to be made between the two, and you can see why. I mean, like after obviously watching 2001, did some Google searches because it was weird, and
yeah,
a lot of people are saying that it's, including you. You mentioned it to me that it revolutionized movies, especially sci-fi, and they were made about 11 years apart from one another. Alien number one and 2001: A Space Odyssey, and you can see the resemblance from one to the other from
yeah.
in
It's
Alien.
uncanny.
Hmm.
Yeah, like it's clear like that Ridley Scott took like visual cues from 2001, and
Hmm.
like man, like even in sound design and set design and in everything, pretty much like classical music in 2001, like that was like a reoccurring thing, and there was even one moment in Alien where it happened, where
Yep.
like there was some classical music playing as they were like they got into the pod of the ship, and before they landed on that planet, basically
Hmm. Hmm.
they were uh they were playing the classical music, that like space colonialism, calling back to like the neoclassical eras or whatever.
Definitely.
But yeah, man, and it's weird because like Alien was made 11 years later,
Hmm.
but 2001 kind of looks like it was made later too. Like it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Like that explosion scene was terrible. Like the effects on it was terrible. It was just lights.
Yeah. In
They just
Alien.
flashed some light. Yeah, in Alien, they
Yeah.
just flashed some lights.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Outside
the
of that, it looked good.
yeah, no, for sure,
Hmm.
for sure. Like even like the alien popping out of the chest, like
Yeah.
that was a like that was done pretty well.
Yeah. I liked that a lot.
All
I
the
was
all the
really
practical
surprised.
effects. Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, 2001, like I was with it up until that last part.
Yeah.
Like then it just became like way too abstract for me.
Hmm.
But I think it might have to do with like what you said yesterday. Like Stanley Kubrick was just flexing. Like
Yeah.
just flexing his abilities. And yeah, like it was just a bunch of flashing lights and things like that, and supposed to symbolize. rebirth or like the next stage of human evolution.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'd
Yeah,
prefer just not to watch that part
yeah, yeah.
and just ignore it entirely.
Like we discussed, if the choice were to be made, I would have liked to have seen just a more drawn out ape like sequences with the apes, or
Mm.
even more
More
with
how?
the yeah more Hal exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to say on Hal in so Hal, they made it very clear that he was all knowing. He's never made a mistake.
Foolproof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
foolproof exactly. And then in Alien, although they didn't do the same thing, they gave it the name Mother, and I thought that was
Hmm.
interesting because Mother is supposed, for a kid growing up, Mother knows best, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting that they gave it without explicitly saying how smart this computer was. They still gave it a name that's indicative of superiority over its users, right?
Hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of had the same effect, especially back then. If you watched Alien, you were likely to have seen 2001
Yeah.
back then. So it kind of it made sense with one another. For us now, I mean, it's unlikely I'd say that the majority of people have seen either movies just based on when they were released.
Hmm. Yeah, like for sure. For sure. Like people our age, I'm not really sure um if they've seen them cuz like I've heard about them for like such a long time, but never really like wanted to watch them like. But I'm interested in like how all the sci-fi movement started and whatnot, like where it came from and like its early beginnings, because we have so much sci-fi now. Like I guess the Marvel movies are
Yeah,
science fiction,
I don't see why not.
you know.
Especially like
Yeah.
especially when you get Iron Man involved and even the Hulk, how
Hmm.
it's like he was medically created, right? That's like
Yeah.
in a sense sci-fi. Yeah, it depends on the character, I'd say. Spider-Man, I guess you would say the same.
Hmm.
Batman, definitely. But then like I guess Superman too, considering he was born of this
Yeah. An alien.
yeah. Oh, is that his origin? I thought he was born of the what's his kryptonite. Never mind. That's what's bad for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. No, he's
Yeah.
an alien. He came from planet Krypton
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
got adopted by humans.
I see.
Yeah. But oh shit. More on like the comparisons between the two. It's like I read this one thing on Google about 2001 that's saying that like some critics thought of it as like a an apocalyptic, darkly pessimistic view on the future of humanity, and others saw it as positive and like reaffirming of humanity, like with the whole baby shit that
Mhm.
like we don't like. And I was thinking that Alien, like if that were true, like if that were to be like the be all end all interpretations of that movie, then Alien would be like the more pessimistic route,
Definitely.
you know?
Mhm.
Like like in 2001, like they find the monolith and like they know that there's extraterrestrial life, but they still haven't made contact.
Mhm.
And then in Alien, like it's widely known that there's alien life, but the contact, like it still hasn't happened. Like that's like the first contact. And also like even like with their space travel, like they're moving commercial goods like 20 million tons of fucking ore
Mhm.
across the galaxy and shit like that. And like it's just building on what was already put on the table in 2001 and showing like a bit more of a darker spin on it, and like taking some of the elements of like what people were like back then too, like even when they're eating and shit, like they're smoking, they're drinking,
Mhm.
and like the way that they're talking is like very period correct, I guess you could say.
For sure.
Whereas like in 2001, it's like cold scientific, like hard scientific, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there isn't really any emotion in that movie. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, the most emotion that you see is probably
It's
from the
from Hal.
apes. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true too. Literally, I feel. Yeah.
Hmm.
And outside of that, the I said the apes just because the anger that they expressed, but Hal for sure. And you know what? It's weird because the I can't remember the character's name who deconstructs Hal, but
Hmm.
even as Hal was doing all these things, he showed very little emotion. Open the door,
Yeah.
Hal. Open the door, Hal. I'll just go in through the emergency airlock. He never got angry or anything. Or he was maybe his facial cues, but he never expressed it verbally. I don't think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the other guy who gets like sent out into space by Hal, um, like he was like the skeptical one, and he was showing some emotion too, but still like very reserved and like calculated and whatnot.
Hmm.
But that's the thing. It's like the thing about the like these aliens and like AI and like sentient beings and shit is like it's like questioning the humanity of them and like whether or not that they have the capacity to feel emotions or like have human like qualities. But like the way that they frame these narratives, it's kind of like showing how sometimes they can be more human than us. Like even in Alien, like that one guy, the robot, like
Yeah.
it turns out that he's a robot when he's like he goes on that little tirade about how the xenomorph is a perfect specimen, a perfect organism, just like it lacks a conscience and what he called delusions of morality,
Hmm.
and it's just a survivalistic instincts. Like that's a perfect organism, and like when it comes down to it, like that's what we should be too. You
Right.
know,
By
that's
nature.
that's how we were at one point,
Hmm.
and that's like a like in a purely primal state of like existence. That's what humanity is, I guess you
Hmm.
could say.
For
But
sure.
then, like on the other end of the spectrum, like in 2001, like you said, like the emotion doesn't come from the humans in the movie, and maybe that could lead to our downfall. Who knows? I
Hmm.
don't know.
Well, no, no, I like that. I like that, man. But and you know what's interesting about that is that even though so you said that in some cases that were displayed at least in these movies, maybe the robots are kind of showing us how to be human in a sense, but are more human than some of the characters, especially in 2001. But
Mm.
something interesting. You mentioned that Alien is likely, or is maybe a product of the more pessimistic side of the thoughts that may have been arrived at as a result of a Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
In Alien, I really like that you said that because in Alien, the three bad guys, or there are three things that are kind of evil. One of them is the alien itself, obviously. Obviously, another one is Ash, or sorry, not Ash, the doctor who turns out to
Yeah.
be a
To be a
robot.
robot.
So right there, AI looked at as a looked at in a negative light. But not only that, but Mother was seen as like it was a positive. You know, she was the computer, she was the motherboard. Yet at the end, Sigourney Weaver
Yeah. Oh,
still,
she's like, you bitch. Just like
exactly,
throws this shit at her. Yeah.
yeah, she's snapping, making it out to be the fault of the computer, the fault of Mother.
Mm.
So it's definitely looking at it in the or it's definitely the more negative, the more pessimistic side of the
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah. And there's another thing in Alien 2. Um, like it kind of like so basically everybody dies except Sigourney Weaver,
Hmm.
and literally the only reason that everyone died is because of their own stupidity. They broke quarantine. Like
Hmm.
how relevant is that today? They
Yeah.
broke quarantine, these bunch of yahoos, and that's what fucking killed them all.
Yeah.
Like if if humanity is gonna end, it's gonna be of our own accord. It's not gonna be of like fucking supernatural occurrences or extraterrestrial occurrences.
Hmm.
Like maybe the sun will blow up or whatever, but that's like billions or whatever, however far down the
Will
line.
likely be gone before that. Like not us
Yeah,
personally, but the human race.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
And
Oh, sorry, continue.
yeah, just like pollution and like environmental destruction, like that's of our own accord. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And like our own natural inclination to curiosity, like we see, like even in 2001, like the black monolith, like they had to go and touch it, like in as apes and as humans, like we're just naturally drawn to shit that might kill us,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it's probably stupid. And
Right.
yeah.
Well,
And what were you
curiosity
saying?
killed the cat, as they say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But fuck, I don't remember. Never mind. I'll remember it. Excuse me. I'll remember it afterwards
Mm.
again. I'm sure. But yeah, no. Oh, that was it actually. So it's interesting that that you even mentioned that humans will basically be the end of humans. I saw a question on Ask Reddit today, and it was, "What is the biggest enemy to mankind?" And then he had it tagged with serious answers only. And immediately my thought was, mankind is the biggest enemy to mankind, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's what else is there? Like, we're evidently top of the food chain. Like, yeah, sure, um, we can be killed, right? And we could die by stronger animals than us. But the thing is, we have numbers, we have tools, like in planet Earth, where humans are at the top. So I think that only we can kill us.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you talking to me? Fuck. Oh shit. What is that? Throw it at you. Why? You could have left it downstairs. I got a package. But
Hey,
it's not my headset.
no,
No. It's
fuck.
my TV mount.
Oh,
But
okay, that's good
I
too.
was worried about that because I was worried about that because Staples didn't give me any tracking info, so I thought I was just gonna get lost in the mail.
True.
But yeah, I can't wait for this headset, man. Jesus.
Yeah. No, it'll be good, man. It always feels nice to have a new headset. Anything new for the computer, it's awesome.
Yeah, that for sure.
Hmm. But
But
hopefully that comes in tomorrow.
yeah. Well, by the end of today, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else should we talk about on that note? Because like I'm trying to watch more sci-fi movies. I
Hmm.
feel like we're headed down a like like shit's gonna happen at a rapid rate now. Like history's gonna get made.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially like with the COVID and what like beyond that, like we're trying to find ask Reddit questions, and like we couldn't really find any, but the one that stuck out to me the most was like it was framed in a really stupid way. I didn't like the way that they framed it. It's like you survived like stage 4 of 2020. Like what's next in stage 5?
Yeah. I saw that one.
Like what's gonna happen next? And we don't know what's gonna happen next. Like the AI revolution could start. Like who fucking knows, man?
Yeah. Man,
Like
AI is
like
freaky.
yeah, it's almost like science fiction is now just becoming reality.
Uh huh. More and more, and more and more every day, every year, however you want to put it. They always say that though. Science fiction becomes science reality, or like something like that is the quote. Um, and hell, you can see it even from just watching those two movies. Like, how crazy must it have been 1968 for in A Space Odyssey? Like, he's like, hold on 1 second, I have to make a phone call, and he steps into a little booth, and then he's having a video call with his daughter. Right, dude. In 1968, that must have been the most wild thing. You know what was the
Yeah.
most wild thing to me? The fact that he was charged $1.75. You know what I mean? I saw that. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me,
Yeah.
man? We got this, dude. We got what we're doing right now, completely free
Yeah.
of charge." Like, that was fucking crazier. In 2020, the fact that he was charged for it was even crazier than the actual design. But back then, man, that must have been wild. And now it's so readily accessible to us. Even like, he was able to talk to Hal. We don't have anything quite as good as that. But I mean, we still have Siri, we still have the Google Home and shit, right? Who can at least like perform basic tasks for us, like turn on the lights. If you have a compatible coffee machine, make my coffee, whatever. Um, So that was pretty interesting. It always becomes reality for the most part.
Oh, I think that's saying that you're talking about, like, was it art imitates life?
No, no, no.
Is
It's
that it?
it's literally science fiction becomes
Oh,
science. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll try to find it. Right.
but
Oh,
fuck.
science fiction becomes science fact.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the road we're headed down, man. Like, it's only a matter of time. And like, I don't know. Like I think the reason it's so like not freaky to us to like be doing this, but like it would be considered so futuristic. Is because like think of like what we're looking at it on right now. Like this is like these are monitors, which are like natural progressions from TVs,
Mhm.
and like
Mhm.
the image that's popping up is just it's in the TV. Like for all intents and purposes, like we're watching a TV right now.
Yeah.
Like the technology isn't really that much different.
No,
Like
it's
aside
identical.
from like yeah, aside from like, cameras and shit and like computers and whatnot, but like the basic device is pretty much the same. So it's not like alien to us. Like it was just a natural progression that
Mhm.
happened kind of seamlessly without us knowing. Like
Right.
the next jump is it's gonna be VR. Like it has to be VR.
Mhm.
But
They'll become more and more
until then,
accessible.
yeah, until then, like everything's gonna seem normal to us, especially because we were like pretty much raised with it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know what's weird is that so you're saying that it's not alien to us because it's a natural progression, right? A lot of the stuff were you referring to the stuff that we saw in the movies, like these two movies that we're talking about, like in terms of basic like the basic things like the monitor and stuff, like the old school ones.
Yes, yes.
Okay. For us though, man, it's a little different because think about it. When you were a kid, growing like when we were really young, I guess the computer monitor that I had in my or the computer that I had in my house at least, it looked more similar to like the monitors in those
Those
movies
movies.
rather than what my computer setup looks like today. So
Yeah.
imagine now kids that are being born in 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. If they see something like that, they're going to be like, what is that? You
Fuck
know?
is that? Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
watched
I know what you mean.
this video the other day. It was really cool. Sometimes I get down this little rabbit hole of it's like an interviewer and he speaks with people on the street and it's like 1968 and he'll ask somebody, are there aliens out there? I have a
Mhm.
little anecdote on this is that every single time that he approaches somebody, they're immediately like taken back. They're kind of weird by the fact there's a microphone in their face. Dude, if someone
Yeah.
approaches you today with like a video camera asking a question, it's like I don't think I'd feel very weird, but I think maybe I'd be like, okay, what's this for? But dude,
Yeah.
people are like refusing to answer. They were almost like running away. They were like looking back, like, what is this? It's in 2020. That's normal. You know, you can expect
Yeah.
to see that, especially because of YouTube. But one of the things that I saw in one of those clips was a kid who was this was probably in the 70s, a kid who was really good at using computers, and he just coded like a very basic game. And he was in like a lab, and the scientist, like the head computer tech in the lab, was talking to him and said, you know, one day you'll have a computer. And then he's trying to explain, he's like, it won't be like this, the one that you see here in this room, as big as this, but you'll have a little computer that can fit on your desk with a monitor. And the father of the kid was like, whoa, no way that that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way that's possible because like remember there used to be like the family computer, like where everybody would use it. Like it was just one for the entire house. Like there was a dedicated spot for it. Like
Computer room.
yeah. And now like here we are.
Hmm.
I've got like too much shit lying around. And now that I'm in my room all the time, the dust just collects even more because my skin cells are just flying everywhere. And I hate it, man. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I literally wiped my desk like 3 days ago and there's dust already.
Hmm. Yeah, it
But
comes quick. Is your desk black?
yeah, and it's glass too, so that's
Uh,
even worse.
yeah. Yeah, that
But
because then you see everything on the glass. Like, if not dust, you even see fingerprints, and even just like
yeah,
Dude, if
drinks.
you rest it exactly, if you rested a cup
Yeah.
of Coke down, like you're gonna see that there
Hmm.
for a while. I hate that. But yeah, that's a real shit thing.
Yeah.
I gotta do
Have you seen The
Disney
Matrix?
Friday. I did, but I saw it when I was we were in the 12th, we were going into the 12th grade. I only remember because it was
Hmm.
my last like crazy summer in Nova Scotia.
Oh my god.
And dude, honestly, like I watched it, really
Hmm.
loved it, but I was fucking stoned to the gills,
Yeah.
man. Like
Yeah, we should watch it again
I'm
because
down.
I've seen it recently and I want to see it again. And that just brings up a whole other conversation, one that we've been having, the with the simulation and everything.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, man, just what a wild concept.
Yeah, I dig it, man. I like to I don't claim whether or not it's real, but it's definitely crazy to think about, and it makes me
Hmm.
fearful, because like, what if there is just a bunch of us out there, identical copies of us out there,
Yeah,
maybe who took different paths, But like the way that simulation theory apparently is, or not simulation theory, but the way that this idea is like described is that not only is there more of exact copies of us, but there's also, it's been run. The simulation has been run so many times. The universe has been run so many times in a simulation that there is an exact copy of you and I who have taken different paths, but there's also an exact copy of you and I out there that are doing the exact same thing as us right now, just because of how many times this fucking thing has been run. It's just eventually, it's gonna, they're gonna like kind of
just
intersect,
a
right?
line.
Align
Yeah.
exactly, and that's
Wow.
freaky, man.
Is that death then? Like, is your death when all your simulations just align and you just
Fuck,
come out of it?
dude,
Like,
that's
is that it?
crazy. Imagine, dude, they're all running
No,
at the
no way.
exact same time. Nah, dude. What
When
else
you
though,
die, you
man?
just see black. You just sleep. The big
Yeah,
sleep.
the big sleep. Yeah. Fuck.
But fuck, I was gonna say something. Um, goddamn, I don't know.
Was it on the
Yeah,
Matrix?
no. Oh yes, yes. It's like and like we have the capacity for like simulated realities like in our own psyche. Like people with like fucking like split personality, I guess, disorder. Like there are a bunch of mental disorders where like your perception of reality is skewed and you might think that you're another person doing like another thing in another part of the world or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like we have the capacity in our own brains to conjure up different realities and simulated things that might not be real.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this one anime movie I watched. It's called Perfect Blue, and it kind of touches on that a little bit, like with like what's real and what isn't, without like simulated um technology or technological life, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like a simulated program. It's kind of more like an assessment of like our own psychology and whatnot.
Right, right.
With some added, man, this movie came out in 1998, I think, or 1996, and it was really ahead of its time. Like a lot of like what I'm like gathering from these sci-fi movies and shit and anime and books that I'm like reading right now. It's like all of them are ahead of their time, like way ahead of their time.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they can anticipate the problems that we're dealing with now and how relevant that they still are.
Right.
It's just like honestly, it kind of lends credence to the simulation theory because like how else, like, are they soothsayers, like can they predict the future, like what's going on, like have they like made contact with some sort of thing, like what, or and then like what is creativity, like is that like a contact with something that lets you get a glimpse into another realm, like I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's like when people say, like people have like a really good idea that ends up making them a lot of money, or it's like not even making them money, but ends up becoming something with significance. They're like, oh, I dreamt it, or I woke up and my hand just started moving. Basically, it's like, yeah, where do you get that from? Is that a natural thing? Is it have you
Mhm.
seen something else? Have you kind of tuned into something that maybe you're not even consciously aware of, but was given to you by some sort of something different? I don't know. Maybe you did it in a different simulation. Maybe it's been done elsewhere, whatever. But
Be the black monolith, man. That was crazy, dude. That that shot, man, with
mhm.
the apes. And that even that too, like man, there are like actual scientific fields where people believe that alien like the intervention of aliens were a direct result, or sorry, our evolution was a direct result of intervention with aliens giving us higher knowledge or
Right.
some shit,
Yeah, like the
like
capacity
kind of
to
a
do certain
reaction.
things.
Yeah, something like that.
And
And the way that it moved like from the monolith allowing us to evolve to the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's like now that we had the capacity to use tools, these tools could also have the capacity to bring us down and make us regress. I don't know, man. Like
I
it's deep
like
shit.
that.
This movie.
I like that a lot, and that could be the explanation of the baby, man.
Yeah.
You regress
Oh
back
shit! I didn't
into
even think of that.
yeah, regress back into just infanthood, where you can't
Hmm.
do anything. You can't make use of any tools at all. Um, I like that. That's a pretty crazy theory. The intervention of aliens to assist the evolution of humans.
Mm.
That's a cool idea, man. And I'm not saying that it's like that it's reasonable or that it isn't far fetched because it probably
Yeah,
is.
of course.
But why are we the only species that can make use of tools? Like that's what. Well,
Hmm.
I guess it's because of these.
Holy shit! Sorry.
Yeah, it's
One
alright.
sec.
Okay, okay. So yeah, again
Christ
for the.
Almighty.
Nope.
Sorry, we just got a bunch of windows open. I was thinking people were slamming doors. Scared that it was like that knocking on the door thing.
Yeah,
But anyway,
dude,
continue.
my
Sorry.
oh no no nothing nothing. That was literally it. Like it's not the most far fetched thing considering we're the only beings that can utilize tools. But then, like I said, I think maybe it's just because we have hands. Like we have thumbs and
Yeah,
shit to
thumbs.
make use. But dude, my house is drafty as fuck and it closes doors all the time. I hate
Yeah.
it. It's terrible. Even
Yeah.
when I close a door, like I'm not like
Another one
I'm
opens.
not. Well, yeah, that does happen sometimes. Like obviously if it's not closed fully, but when I close a door, dude, like I don't slam my doors. I don't whip them shut. Anything. Sometimes I'll just like pull it and then walk away from it, and dude, it fucking slams behind me, and
Mhm.
I hate that. Freaks me
Yeah.
out.
Now you've got your bathroom connects to your sister's room.
Hmm.
When you open your bathroom door or like even your bedroom door, do you notice that it affects those doors
Hers is
at
always
all?
closed, but it
Oh.
does if you're like
If it's
absolutely
open
yeah, most
slightly?
definitely yeah.
Yeah. That was tripping me out when I first moved here.
Yeah, it's weird because
But
it's like
yeah.
suction. It's just like the air transfer, but it's like you don't think
Hmm.
that it's possible considering how open it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
but it's still makes an impact. And you're right about that because sometimes if I leave my door, like my bedroom door, is just cracked, and I go into there, my washroom, sometimes it affects that door.
The air pressure and whatnot.
Yeah.
How much time we at? Are we past like an hour yet?
Um. There's no way for me to tell. Oh, OBS, OBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 50 minutes right now.
Okay. What do you say we go for like another 10
Yeah.
and just keep it short and sweet at an hour?
No, for
You
sure.
know?
I think that yeah, man, fuck it. That's perfectly fine with me, especially considering the circumstances today. I think
Yeah.
that it's good that we do that. We have something to put out, and it wasn't just something to throw out there. Like I think that we had some pretty good talks here. Some interesting ideas were discussed, and hopefully, if we're lucky enough, some people will we'll respond, on our Instagram or even, you know what, man? Since we were talking about the website today, and I think it's okay that we discuss this a little
Yeah.
bit on the air, but we should add, well, I guess we have a comment section under each podcast, so never mind. I was gonna say maybe we can have
No,
a page
but
that's
say it.
specifically meant for responses, so it's easier than just having to, or it's more inviting or more welcoming than just a comment section under each individual video. We can have one full page just dedicated to,
Centralized.
yeah,
Like, what about like a feedback page?
yeah,
Like, literally just entirely dedicated to comments or whatever.
yeah, and I think that it should be made. It's not like the other style that we've had, where it's like, hey, if you have any questions or whatever, email us. This feedback page can be completely public. Like once they post it, not only can we see it, but anybody else who visits the site can also see it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's just a centralized comment slash feedback page, basically.
Yeah. I like that. I
Hmm.
like that a lot.
Yeah, I think that we should run that.
We also need a domain. I think it's time to change the name of the site
Yeah.
URL.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
It's
That's
20
quick and
bucks.
easy.
It's so cheap.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
exactly.
cheap.
And we just get rid of the .squarespace.com.
Yeah.
It makes sense. There's no point, you know?
Yeah.
We should
And we should
also just do
switch
it.
to yearly payments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a hell
The
of a lot
monthly is
easier.
just such a hassle.
Yeah. And dude, outside of that, it's like I can't remember what the cost is for the year, but between the three of us, man, we're spending like it's we spoke about it before. If it was just one person, it's a lot of money. Considering we're splitting it three ways, it's still a lot of money, but it's there's no reason for us to be spending as much as we are when it's cheaper to just go for the yearly plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for all this shit to be over, man. Like I need to get out of my house. I had to and the thing is like even like trying to walk around the neighborhood, like there's so many fucking people out and like they'll all look at you weird like when you're walking on the sidewalk and like they try to like run away from you kind of. That's what it looks like. I try to do the same thing. I don't want to be fucking near them.
No, of course. Yeah, everyone's
But like hostile
maneuvering.
kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
And
passive aggressiveness.
yeah. So I had to fucking go out on a walk last night at like fucking 1 o'clock in the morning.
How'd you
But
like
it
it?
was it was peaceful. It was beautiful. And it was raining too,
Mhm.
which was not ideal, but like still it was quiet. Like there was no one out.
Mhm.
Like I saw two cars drive by me in like the half an hour that I was out for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not
But it
bad.
was it was amazing. Like I miss like having like the ability to just walk and not be worried about catching anything.
Mhm. Mhm. Just freedom, man. And
Yeah.
like just in general, yeah, like stepping near to anybody, like it's it's a weird thing now. And man, even like just being worried about your friends and family, like that's a shitty thing. Like there's no reason for us to be, well, of course right now in the current circumstances there's reason. But I mean, we shouldn't have to be worried to even like see, like, for example, my no, my no stops by every few days and he'll bring, like, I don't know, like maybe sauce or something.
Yeah.
He's leaving it on the doorstep, like, and then
Mhm.
he's walking down the stairs on my front entrance, like outside, and then we open up the door, we wave to him, like it's really weird.
Yeah.
And it's the same for everybody, even just speaking with, like, not only grandparents obviously, but anybody who you're interacting with. I had some cousins come over a few days ago, and basically they were just standing on the street, and we were standing on our driveway, and just, you know, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, I'm not digging the this anymore. It was fun at first, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It was fun to regress to my teenage ways of life, waking up at 1 o'clock playing video games all
Hmm.
hours of the day, skipping school.
Yeah.
But it is certainly not the way to live.
No, not any longer.
No.
Not any longer.
Especially when there's basically no games to play anymore
Hmm.
other than Valorant.
Ranked is out.
I thought that they delayed it like a day because they found some sound glitch where like footsteps weren't registering.
It's in the game now.
They fixed it.
Jordan got placed. Dude,
How
it's
many games did
it's
he
it's
play?
five. It's five placement games.
Uh-huh.
He played two or three of them solo queue, I was watching a stream. He was doing pretty well too. Silver 3 he
Mhm.
got, and I think Silver 3 is the low end of Silver.
Oh, really?
So yeah, but then I watched him play
Shit.
like 2 games in Silver, and it was just, it was, it wasn't right. Like you should like, it wasn't even fun to like. It wasn't even fun to
Mhm.
watch. Like
Why he was getting shit on?
no, no, no. He was shitting on them.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what's your do you get like MMR increased every game? Like does it show you as LP kind
No,
of?
it's literally just it literally just shows like
Just
a
an
rank.
XP bar
Not even
kind of?
just a rank.
Oh.
The way it did in CS, you didn't know. Rocket League as well does
Oh.
it
Yeah, you don't know until
till
you
you
either
get it.
go up or down,
Yeah. But
right?
you can make estimations. You can say like after
Hmm.
like 2 games, you could probably be like, oh, if I win this one, I'm good. Um,
Yeah.
they give you a very clear outline too as to how or as to what matters in your rank, and
Right.
it's if you win a game where you spank them like say 13-2, you get more for that. But the thing is that it also says they explicitly say that you get less if it's a game that you won like 13-12. So that kind of hurts. But what are you gonna do? Um, they said that your use of abilities, your effective use of abilities,
And
will.
your decisiveness in like wins, like what
Yes, yes,
how decisive it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was pretty well. Oh, and they said like your individual performance matters, but the more games that you play, the less the individual performance starts to matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but round. I guess that's what you were saying. Decisive, like your round determining plays. That
Yeah.
also makes a difference. So if you clutch like a 3v1 or something, that'll make a difference
Hmm.
in your play or in your rank rather, in the MMR that you earn or lose.
Yeah.
It was weird,
Well,
man. It
tonight,
turns out there was a sorry, real quick. It turns out there was a
yeah,
hidden
yeah.
MMR after all, because Jordan tried to queue with Josh and some of his buddies last night before any of them were
Couldn't.
ranked, and they couldn't.
Wow.
And then Jordan
Like
hopped into our
not in
lobby,
ranked?
not in rank. They couldn't queue together.
Oh wow.
Then Jordan hopped into our lobby, um, and he was not. We weren't able to queue either.
That's
So
insane.
I mean, the thing is, he got placed silver, so I can only imagine that we're going to be getting placed iron.
Is
Now,
that the lowest?
that's the lowest. Now,
Uh,
I went in. Considering we've played a lot of games together and played with Jordan a lot. I went into a duo queue with him afterwards. Him and I were able to play with one another. So I'm imagining that you're likely close to that as well.
yeah. Maybe. We'll see. I want to get them done tonight. I want to see where I'm at.
Yeah, no, for
Because
sure.
I've tried to improve upon when I first started playing,
Hmm.
and I want to see some progress. Because like there really is no way to like gauge your progress right now.
Yeah,
You know.
you know what, dude? This is what I think. Like, I think that we're gonna get fucked in the ass on placement. The
Hmm.
progress comes in when we climb, or
Yeah.
like we can see the progress rather as
Hmm.
we're climbing, which I think we're going to be
Yeah.
able to do genuinely.
Yeah. I don't want to care about ranked as much in this game as like in League, man. Like
I know.
I don't want to be afraid to get into a game just in case I might lose some ranking, you know?
I feel you, man. But you know what?
Cuz
Oh,
then
sorry.
there's no progress, you know?
No, dude, it becomes stressful more than anything. And
Yeah.
I was talking
Oops.
to the guys about that last night, basically saying, dude, I don't want the headache. But then I
Hmm.
thought about it, like, dude, League's ranked system is fucking cutthroat, man. You have to win, if just to go from bronze 4 to 3. You have to win 4 games in a row and then win another 2 in a row just to get up to bronze 3. That's 6 fucking games in a row, man. Like
And
that's hardcore.
I saw a post on Reddit today where this girl from Korea was streaming for 78 consecutive hours just to get out of bronze 4. How fucked is
No,
that? Just to get out of bronze 4.
no.
78 consecutive hours.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that hurts, dude.
She must have stunk.
Yeah, yeah,
Fuck.
no doubt. Yeah,
But yeah, it is really cutthroat, and um I mean maybe that's just indicative of like the skill level that you need to make it to the top, but also Like, there's a lot of bullshit involved in it, especially the matchmaking system is just so imbalanced.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, you could have a team full of bronze players, couple unranked, and then you'd go up against, a couple of silvers, high bronze, and maybe one gold. Like, you never know what you're gonna get, man.
Mhm.
It's really bullshit how the way that they go about matchmaking.
Definitely.
So hopefully, it seems like they're trying to take steps in the right direction in terms of matching people and placing people and assessing individual performance
Yeah.
and how it relates to their rank. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. It should matter a little bit individual performance because especially in the case of League, like, dude, if you're playing with, it's the case of any game. If you're playing League for a long time, hockey for a long time, soccer for a long time, with people who are not good at playing the games, you're not going to improve, right? It takes a little bit of outside influence, obviously your own work, right? But a little bit of outside influence and learning off of better players does help. So I don't remember fuck what I was going to say about that, but like oh right, so individual performance, sorry, should matter a little bit because if you are genuinely outperforming your teammates, and even if you lose the game, it should still mean something because you're evidently playing better. And like I get it in the case of League, like maybe you can get fed one game, you know. But dude, if you're doing it like 4, 5, 6 times, it should start to matter. Like it's the game, the rank system should start to recognize, oh fuck, like he's actually doing well.
Hmm. Yeah, it should be based on your merit, not what you get dragged into.
Mhm. Mhm.
At least at first, just to gauge your level of skill,
For sure.
you know,
For sure.
and then it makes sense. The more games you play, the less your individual performance matters.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm down to get placed tonight because 5 games, that seems possible.
Yep. For sure. I've we have two right now under our belts, and one of them we won 13-12, and one of them we got spanked 13-6 or something. So it's not looking good.
Did you play those with Jordan?
No, no,
No,
no.
no.
I didn't end up playing ranked at all with Jordan. I just went into the lobby with him afterwards, just to see if it was after he got placed, just to see if the MMR was close enough to play with one another. So I'm hoping to get like probably bronze is my get. Oh yeah, because silver 3 is the lowest. So I'm hoping for bronze, but definitely not iron.
Yeah,
That would hurt.
I don't want to fucking get iron, man.
Yeah,
I was so pissed when I played League, man. This getting placed this season, fucking 6 wins gets you iron.
yeah. It's stupid, man. It makes no fucking
Yeah,
sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what else to say about the Valorant. I just hope that they add new maps and new champs and shit like that, because
Yeah.
I don't want it to get stale.
I think that maps are higher on the tier list for them than champs, because champs,
Yeah.
like, think about champs, it's always dangerous, like, especially in a game with so little champs. With League, it hardly matters at this point. Adding a new champ isn't gonna break the entire game.
Let me ask you this: is there like a pick and ban sort of deal?
No, but apparently they're gonna add it.
Mm,
Which makes no sense to me, man. 10 champions. How the fuck are you gonna do a pick and ban? Overwatch doesn't even have a Overwatch doesn't even have a pick and ban. Like, and that game has probably 20 some odd champs now.
uh,
Um, it just doesn't make sense for them to implement a system like that with such a limited amount. And like, how many bans are reaching? What, 3 bans per team? Like that, or like whatever, I think it's
pool
gonna
is
have to be
just way
one.
too limited.
Yeah. Because
Just way too
two
limited
two
at that
bans
point.
per team allows 6 champs. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think that it should be 1 ban per team if they're gonna do anything at all.
Right. Right. Well, what do you say? We cut it there.
Yep, that sounds
End it
good to
for
me, man.
today.
For sure.
Get this shit on YouTube.
Yeah, and we'll give shit. Joe's not here today for our shameless plug.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Basically, to our listeners, Check us out on Twitch if you aren't currently watching. It's at TunfB Podcast on Twitch. Our Instagram and YouTube and our Instagram and YouTube are at the Unfinished Basement Podcast. Our Twitter is at TuntB Podcast, just like Twitch. You can hear us as per usual on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, you can now check out this video, this live video on either on our Twitch for the next 14 days because that's when it expires, or you can check it out on YouTube. And that's pretty well it for us today.
Yep. So thanks for tuning in, and stay safe indoors and whatnot. Unfortunately, but we'll get through this. Hopefully, TUNFB helps.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully. If it does, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, guys. I've been Lou.
I'm Juice.
Talk to you guys later.
Later.